back very shortly with more coverage.
David Sharfman was the winner of the previous largest
That's right.
limited Grand Prix. So Ruben and David Sharfman in a second.
Yeah, check it out. Hello and welcome back to Grand Prix Charlotte, presented by StarCityGames.com. I am joined by David Sharfman, Pro Tour Nagoya, Grand Prix Paris winner, several other big accomplishments to your name. How is it going?
Pretty good. I'm X and 2 right now. Still alive in the tournament.
You just won the suicide round, the losing out, as I was calling it.
The second day 2 round.
Right, day 1.5 round.
The day 1.5 round.
So that must feel pretty good, I guess.
I'm not really too confident in my deck, but I felt like it has good draws, and I happened to get 2 of them. So
sure. Now, what are you playing in your sealed?
I'm a kind of quick rule deck with I have like 7 2-drops, a few 3-drops, 2 Ruination Worms, but I don't have a way to kill a creature other than the Sweet Mythic or Domri Rad.
That's not ideal for a rule deck, I suppose.
Right. I mean, he's obviously one of the
premier ways to do it.
Right. But that's my only way.
Sure. So this format certainly seems to. You can certainly open an insane pool, but if you don't open an insane pool, if you just play all your 2-drops, you can sometimes just sneak in wins. Is that accurate?
Yeah, you can sneak in wins versus some of these like 6 and 7 mana rares that don't win the game when they hit play.
Right.
So you can just attack by it and blood rush a few creatures and kill them before they even get going.
Certainly, I've been killed from sitting on 15, and he attacks with a 2/2, and suddenly I'm just dead several times in this limited format. So you were the champion of the previous largest limited Grand Prix, Grand Prix Paris, which was attached to a Pro Tour.
Yep.
This is an enormous Grand Prix as well. Do you see any similarities, any differences between the two?
Definitely. Like just the amount of people, it can be frightening to a few people. They're like, man, there's so many people here. How am I supposed to do well? But you still only have to play against one person each round, and a lot of people forget that. They see all these people and just presume that they can't possibly win. So it's just like, but that's not really it matters. The stuff that does come up is like when you start losing because of tiebreakers. That comes into play a lot.
Sure.
But there's a lot of similarities. It reminded me a lot of it when I first walked in, before I even knew it was record-breaking.
Just the sound of 2,000 people opening packs sounds like a rainforest.
Not having sitting room or standing room just because there's so many people.
Yep. And so, what do you think about Grand Prix Charlotte? Aside from the enormity, the Gold Rush promotion, all the artists, the sort of feel of the tournament so far.
The Gold Rush is a very awesome promotion. A lot of people come here just solely for that and to play in the Grand Prix, but that's one of the main reasons they come is just a chance at opening a piece of power or something is sweet.
What did you open in the Gold Rush?
Let me think. Nothing good. Oh no, it was a sea monster, phantom monster. It's 3 and a blue, 3/3 from
that was
unlimited.
In a world championship winning deck, that phantom monster. But yeah, so you are now, even though there's another round of standard, you will be drafting.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about the difference between the draft format and the sealed format of Gatecrash. Do you have any experience there?
The sealed format I feel has the potential to be a lot slower. You do play against these fast Boros and Gruul decks, but for the most part you're also playing against these decks with a lot of bombs, which in draft you don't have to deal with 6 packs worth of bombs, you only have to deal with 3.
Sure.
I feel like the draft format is a lot quicker. There is the slow Orzhov deck or the slow Dimir deck you can draft, but for the most part it's just fast Simic decks, fast Gruul decks, fast Boros decks, and that is the format.
Now, I've been talking with a lot of people, and one of the complaints that I've heard is that there's really only 5 archetypes.
Yep.
That's how it was set up with the 5 guilds. However, I have seen several sub-archetypes of various types. There is a Shadow Alley Denizen, quick Cypher deck that uses Paranoid Delusions and things like that to quickly get a lot of advantage. And then there's the 5-color monstrosity with Verdant Havens and Prophetic Prisms.
Gate on Tapper.
Yeah, the Gate on Tapper. It gives you 7 mana on turn 3 with the God Draw. Are there any other interesting ones that you're keeping your eye out for?
Yeah, there's 2 different kinds of Orzhov decks you can draft. You can draft the hyper aggressive, which is the one I prefer, or the slow controlling deck. There's actually a Boros control deck you can draft with like some walls and angelic edicts. That one I'm not a big fan of, but I've seen it done. The 5-color deck, and then the Gruul deck. There's like 2 different directions you can kind of go, which the hyper aggressive or kind of the mid-rangey, removal heavy sort of deck.
The one that I've been drafting a little bit of is sort of an Esper, like just mono 1/4 defenders, which I kind of like a lot. And also that combos really well if you get 1 or 2 agoraphobias. Agoraphobia is very good in an extort deck. Yeah, so I always have a ton of fun with those. But I think that the set was designed to have the 5 guilds, of course.
That's the point of it. Yeah.
But there is more than one archetype. There are different types of Simic and different types of Gruul decks, as you mentioned. Right. So I think that there's and we'll see a little bit of play later on. When you're drafting, do you go into the draft for this limited format? Do you go into the draft hoping to pick one, or do you just let the draft come to you?
Generally, the way I draft is I take the best card out of my first pack and then throw it away, like rip it up.
Sure.
And you just have to read signals. Like that is how to draft the format, because if you just like if you like open up what's a good example? Just like some random dragon, like a red dragon.
Like a Hellkite Tyrant.
Right, and you just force yourself into like a Gruul deck, for instance, with that card in particular. If you force yourself into a Gruul deck, but there's Simic cards coming, your deck's going to end up worse than if you threw away the Hellkite and just took what was coming to you.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Well, good luck next round. Good luck in the drafts.
Thank you.
Being X and 2, you're technically still alive for top 8, right?
Technically alive, yeah.
All right. Well, I look forward to it, and hopefully you can win the 2 largest limited Grand Prix ever. So we're going to cut to a deck tech that we did. This is the sealed deck tech, I believe, that we have with Brian Kibler. We are here from Grand Prix Charlotte.
SCG